So there is a rumor that Cartoon Network and possibly Nickelodeon are going to be offloaded by Paramount if they do, push this Warner Brothers acquisition through, because they're not allowed to have that many children's networks.
Honestly, that might be a good thing, because those networks are just dying and they're just just left to rot. So somebody else who had money and the vision to bring them back, I would think that would be good news.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Cartoon Network in particular, I think of the two networks, Cartoon Network would be the one that would probably get sold before Nickelodeon, because at least with Nickelodeon, they have SpongeBob and Turtles and stuff like that. Cartoon Network, though, it seems like all the shows lately, and this is pre-Ellison, they're outsourcing everything. They're putting the new Scooby-Doo anime on Tubi. They've got new Adventure Time coming. That's going on Disney Plus. Same with Gumball. They're not even putting their Cartoon Network shows on Cartoon Network anymore because nobody's watching it. Cartoon Network only has about 50,000 viewers at this point.
So they might attract more viewers if they actually, put effort into it, and they aren't. So selling it off to somebody else might see them bringing new shows or different things to it, unless it goes to like Netflix or something and they just want the content and they'll just throw it on there and not care about doing new stuff. And then that's a problem. But if they can find somebody who's actually interested in saving it, it might be a good thing.
So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
If you'd like more Clownfish TV, go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's more.clownfishtv.com for more Clownfish TV. And actually, we did talk about this just a week or so ago, that Cartoon Network was in really bad shape. Less than 50,000 people watching it every day, and they've been shutting it down by degrees. It's not looking good, but if you guys want to listen to the podcast version of us as well, go out to iTunes, iHeartRadio, etc., Spotify.
We do have a new one that you haven't put up yet, though.
Yeah, I've got a new one I got put up. We've been very busy this week, but we have a new one out on more.clownfishtv.com. It's kind of Geeky's Ranting. Geeky's Ranting. You like it when
it's about YouTube. Yeah, I there's a reason why we can't put it on here. Let's put it that way.
So this tweet aged like milk. This was from 2022. It's Cartoon Network. Y'all, we're not dead. We're just turning 30. To our fans, we're not going anywhere. We have been and always will be your home for beloved, innovative cartoons. More to come soon. This is after they shut down their studio in California. This is after, they took a lot of programming off the air, off of HBO Max, because they're trying to take a tax write-off, and they stopped putting new content on Cartoon Network. Instead, they started putting it on other services. And then they did this big article. I think it was like the New York Times or the Atlantic or one of these bigger publications did a whole thing on basically an obituary for Cartoon Network. They were shutting down the websites. It wasn't looking good. And they're like, we're not dead. Everything's fine, guys. It's good. Now here we are. They're like, yeah, less than 50,000 viewers are probably going to sell the whole thing off.
Like I said, it depends. I mean, if it goes to like someplace like Netflix or Amazon, it's just going to be content. If it goes someplace else, they might be able to revive the channel.
So this comes from comicbook.com, and the original tweet was from Discussing Film. This said, the war for Warner Brothers Discovery between Paramount and Netflix ended with the former claiming victory, and they're getting, everything Warner Brothers, everything Cartoon Network. They're also getting Nickelodeon with SpongeBob and Avatar, which they don't give a crap about. They said in a new report from Bloomberg, Paramount Skydance Corporation is apparently getting ready to jettison some of its children's TV network assets to make the merger go through. Paramount is hoping to avoid this, though if push comes to shove, it seems that the studio will move forward without some of its biggest animated assets. For those who don't know, while it doesn't specify in the article, this would most likely entail the Nickelodeon umbrella. Considering Warner Brothers has a wide array of animated properties to its name, the European Union would have a problem with the animation monopoly, but they're not doing anything with most of it.
Well, it doesn't matter. They could, apparently. Without that, they're all trying to put a wrench in it because they were buddies with Netflix.
As part of the article, Bloomberg intelligence analyst Jennifer Rye broke down the potential problem Paramount could run into in relation to the European Commission. It's certainly likely the Commission will scrutinize overlaps between Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery and the wholesale supply of children's television channels. Concerns would be raised if combined market shares exceed 40% in any country. And they do, because really the biggest children's networks, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. Mm-hmm. So at that point, they've got like 2/3 of the biggest ones. But they could argue honestly, if they wanted to go that route, be like, hey, technically Netflix and YouTube are the biggest.
Well, I was going to
children's
say that.
channels.
Technically, YouTube is. I mean, if we're
Yeah.
going to be honest here, I would say it's YouTube over the other ones. But they always just like, gloss over that one and keep going. But yeah, YouTube, I'd argue, is bigger as far as the kids' network.
So it said Netflix has been acquiring quite a few animated properties from Nickelodeon in recent years. So they're speculating Netflix might buy it. They have SpongeBob on Netflix, Rocko's Modern Life, Avatar. But they were trying to bring a lot of that stuff, I think, to Paramount Plus. But yeah, I don't think they care. Like, look, here's the reality. I mean, I know we get a lot of cartoon people watching our channel and whatever. Here's the reality. The reality is that animation is not a huge moneymaker for these corporations, right?
Well, you might love it, but it's not.
You might love it, but to them, it's just IP. And especially if it's like 30-year-old IP that they're not currently making a lot of money off of. I think between the two, I think they're more likely to probably keep Nickelodeon because they are still making money off of SpongeBob and they're still making money off of Turtles, and they've had Nickelodeon. Cartoon Network would be the thing that's being grafted in. They already have deals, outsourcing a lot of that stuff to other places. I could totally see them selling one or both. I think they'll keep one of them. But,
well, here's the thing, though. I'm wondering, though. They said that they were the one that they were kind of talking about maybe getting rid of was Nickelodeon. So I don't know, but that one to me that makes less sense because
that makes less
they have
sense.
the big franchises.
Yeah,
that make less sense. But Cartoon Network, there's a lot of stuff on it, but it's just dead. I mean, let's be honest here.
It is dead.
I think it could be saved in the right hands. But it's going to be somebody that's going to focus on it. That's all they're going to do. And they're really going to put the effort and money in behind it. And I just don't know who's going to have the money to do it. And if the ones that have the money to do it, just going to want to roll it into something else.
Honestly, the smartest way to do it would be like, okay, fine, we're not going to have two networks. We're just going to have Nickelodeon. Or we'll combine Cartoon Network with Nickelodeon. And then Nickelodeon will air Cartoon Network projects.
They could do that, but then but apparently I think they would have thought of that already. So there's probably some reason why they can't do that.
I don't know. So let's look at some of the comments because the comments here are really interesting. This is on Discussing Film. The first comment is Alex Hirsch, Gravity Falls creator Alex Hirsch, says, how much does Cartoon Network cost? Well, if we threw the biggest bake sale.
Yeah, or like a huge crowdfunder or something, yeah.
Good luck with that because I know there were individuals who wanted to buy back their properties from Cartoon Network and they were incredibly expensive because they basically wanted all their production costs back. Mm-hmm. And even though they weren't doing anything with it, I think Megas XLR was.
But that was then, and Cartoon Network was still, alive then.
Yeah.
Now it's not. So that might not be the case now.
This person here says option B it is. So yeah, this is the problem. Yeah, option A. David Ellison dismantles Warner Brothers. Option B, the merger is reduced in scale due to delays in opposition, effectively carving up Warner Brothers before close, which is probably what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Option C, the merger is terminated. That's not going to happen. Warner Brothers is sold to private equity.
That's what I keep saying. If they don't sell out to another studio, they're just going to be shut down and sold off in pieces, which is what we've been telling you. So, it's probably going to have to be option B.
This person here, they want a $110 billion empire, but monopolizing childhood nostalgia is where the line gets drawn.
Well, I think the EU, they had a deal. They were kind of like sucking up to Netflix, or Netflix was sucking up to them. So I think that they have different rules there. But yeah.
Yeah, the idea of Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network ending up under the same roof was always going to raise eyebrows. Yeah, no, I think that's what's going to happen, though. I think they'll probably merge it. Please let them sell Nickelodeon to Netflix. They might. I mean, I don't know.
There's a chance. I mean, but again, I don't know how much Netflix is going to do with it. They do make new stuff. It's just going to be Netflix only.
Yeah.
If they bother.
It said sell the rest of Cartoon Network to Tubi, Packer Girl says. That actually, I could see them doing that. I mean, I would say, hey, if we're not making new content or whatever, like, how is this?
Tubi might. If Tubi gets enough stuff, they might.
That's, oh my God, that's the Murdochs.
You know what? Send it to Tubi. Yeah. Good plan.
Yeah. And they're making new content. Tubi's actually making. I don't know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Tubi might be able to do it.
They might be able to do it, and that's the Murdochs.
They have the money too.
They have the money to do it. Yeah, and that'll be a whole problem too.
I don't hate that idea.
Okay, so let's just hypothetically speaking, because I can hear the screeching now. If they sold Cartoon Network to Tubi, which is owned by the Murdochs, yes, the Fox News Murdochs. If you don't know, the Fox News Murdochs own Tubi. If they sold
I think we've got that. You said it 3 times.
Okay, well, some people don't realize that, right? So if they sold Cartoon Network to Tubi, boy, this is going to go over real well. So Toon Hive posts this today. that Cartoon Network is using the official account to drag people who aren't on board with Pride Month stuff. Cartoon Network drags homophobic people once again for Pride Month. So this is like an ongoing thing. The thing is, nobody's reading the Cartoon Network stuff anymore. So I don't think they care. I really feel like there's like an intern or something over there that there's no give a shit. I mean, you get 50,000 people watching you daily.
Oh, you don't get to say this. If you don't support the community, you're not a true Cartoon Network kid. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's
we love you. Try
that,
harder.
Like, that's not, no, you don't, that's, no.
Bots when they see gay characters from shows that ended years ago. Yeah, that was, look, I'll be honest, that was kind of weird when we had all these right wingers with the Netflix thing last year.
And yeah, it was for old shows. It was
they were like old shows. They were like 10 years ago.
Out. We're like, these shows are old. I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, to me, it's not a big deal when they put some stuff in it here and there, but it's not organically. But when they were like really shoving it down people's throats, and now they're trying to shove, kids' throats in particular.
Oh,
then I was kind of like, wait a minute.
It depends on the age group. Like, I'm not going to
who the target demographics.
Yeah, I'm not going to have a problem so much with like Steven Universe, which is obviously for older kids or teens, compared to like Blue's Clues or something like that.
Exactly.
Where, that's the difference. Like if the kid's like 3 or 5 years old, like we have no business telling kids.
But then telling people if you don't support it, you're not, like Toon High.
You're not a real fan.
Well, is that what Cartoon Network said?
Yes, that's their official account. Cry harder.
Cartoon Network, and they don't probably care because they know they're toast anyway.
That's what I think it is.
But
I don't think they care.
Like, that's like fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Cartoon Network. You don't get to tell people that this is why no one watches you.
It's just like, yeah, and that's the thing too. They had those PSAs. Remember the PSAs? They did for what was it? Black History Month. They did one. I think they did one for the Summer of Love. They did one for gay marriage, whatever. And they were using the cartoon characters to push political views.
When you're using cartoon characters that are geared for children, even if you have stuff in the show, that's where the line gets drawn. And that's when people get mad. It's like, I don't think anyone really cared because you don't understand. Like when we were kids, like this, no one really cared. Like movies, shows, whatever. It was already diverse, and we're just like whatever. But like I said, it depends on intent, like who you focusing this toward. And if it's little kids, I'm sorry, you don't need pride parades and Blue's Clues.
Yeah, that's where I like. That's the line for me is like, look, you want to do shows for older kids or teens or whatever that you do.
Yeah, Steven Universe, fine. I mean, even Prince She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Like, I don't like the show, but it was geared older, so it was mostly the 20-somethings and their friends. So that's whatever. Other than the fact you ruined the franchise I loved. I don't really, it wasn't so much that as it was.
If it had been called something else.
Yeah.
If it had been called something else.
That's just it. But I'm just like, but yeah, you don't need like the stuff on Sesame Street. Sesame Street put up a pride post. And I know the one mom, and she's a lesbian, and she was mad. She's like, I'm a lesbian. I saw the pride post. She goes, my kids should be learning their colors and numbers. They don't need to know about pronouns and sexual identity and who people are sleeping with. She's like, she was really mad that Sesame Street did that because she's like, this is a preschool show. They're supposed to be getting ready for school. This has nothing to do with those things.
When there's this kind of like over the top like affirmation and pushback against people that have questions or whatever, and it's mostly parents. Parents decide if their kids are going to watch these shows or not, right? You actually create more problems for the community because now it's like when you've got the official Cartoon Network account out there being like, you're a bigot homophobe Nazi.
Let's be honest here. The official Cartoon Network account was probably run by somebody who's got pride flags all over their bio, and they're really pissed off about it because that's what keeps happening. They put activists in charge of social media, and then this kind of stuff happens. And a few years ago, it would not have happened, but it also would have been a bigger deal. Now, literally, no one gives a fuck.
Well, that's why these people got to take over. Like, this is what I'm talking about. The activists basically come into some kind of a brand, like at the end stage, because they're like, nobody's even paying attention. Like, parents aren't going to get outraged about this because parents aren't watching. The kids are not watching Cartoon Network. Obviously, the only people holding on hope the Cartoon Network is going to change course are people probably in their 20s and 30s
that are like, that are making comments like this on social media.
Right. So
and
that's,
then, I mean, it could have if it got sold to Tubi, even better. I'm down with the Tubi sale. Let's go with that one. That'll just anger the right kind of people, and it also will, actually maybe potentially save Cartoon Network.
It actually could, because they might focus on bringing back some of the legacy characters and making it more family friendly, brand friendly.
It has to be family friendly. I think that's some of the things they'd stick to, as long as it was something that was going to bring audiences and make money.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, they would be smart about it. They wouldn't be pushing it like they're pushing it now. Yeah.
But this is kind of how I think we basically kind of speed ran the end of Cartoon Network, was the parents. I think even before all the outrage, I think kids were checking out, parents were telling kids to watch something else, and they had endless Teen Titans Go reruns.
Pretty much, yeah.
And now we're down to 48,000 people watching it. So, I could totally see them selling it.
Don't watch it. They watch YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. They watch YouTube. They watch TikToks. They watch, the other things. They're watching Netflix, stuff like that. They are not watching Cartoon Network. And they haven't been for years. And that's when the decline. I think when the era of the iPad kid came up, that's when you started seeing their numbers decline, because kids weren't all watching TV. They were watching YouTube. And I think YouTube took their audience away. A lot of the kids shows that are really popular today came from YouTube. So that's what kids were at. It's nothing to do with anything else. And then driving away the rest of your audience probably isn't the smartest thing to do, but here we are.
Yeah.
Unless they know it's all that's left is people that they're pandering to.
That might be the case. That might be the case. So we're going to wrap this up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.